8 weeks ago, Meri told me that she was going to go to Utah, meet with our church leaders, basically request a divorce. It's called a release in our church.
I'm at a place that, let's just separate this completely.
The damage was done so badly that we're not going to reconcile no matter what. Angry at her, it becomes a fight. It's been done and over for years.
When Sister Wives star Christine Brown said she considered herself divorced from Kody Brown, he told her she needed to get approval from the church authorities for the divorce and criticized her for not doing so. However, when Meri decided to follow the church's procedures, Kody suddenly disregards the church's authority. It seems the rules only apply to others when it suits Kody, but not to himself. The more he talks, the more repulsive he becomes. It's clear he just wanted Christine gone, but to act like he allowed her to do this. Really? How can anyone find him appealing? How generous of him to let Meri go to the church, a church he now pretends to no longer recognize. I'm sure the church is thrilled about that. This isn't the Kody we saw when the show first aired. Back then, he seemed to love his wives, but ever since Robyn entered the picture, he's completely changed. He left his other 3 wives and biological children behind. I'm so glad these women are strong enough to move on with their lives. Robyn and Kody deserve each other. I'm confused. He was upset that Christine didn't go to the church for a release, but now he's telling Meri it's unnecessary since their relationship has been over for years. It's clear he wanted to push her out, but still keep her money. Now the truth needs to come out. She's been gone for over 3 years, but returned for filming to keep the income flowing. Maybe the mansion is being sold to buy Janelle and Meri out of Coyote Pass, but it's more likely they just need more space for their clutter. Also, why did Kody insist Janelle kick her kids out at 18? Yet Robyn's 3 oldest are still living at home. Kody has become a bitter, spiteful man. I was never his biggest fan, but he used to be lighthearted and seemed to love his family and life. Now he just feels like an empty shell of who he once was. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Reality Nexus X. It's me, Elena. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. However, this is classic brainwashing. The church doesn't have any real power. It's your relationship with Yahusha that matters. That so-called religion is man-made and only benefits the man. Shake my head. Get a lawyer and make him repay you for the house and land. What a joke. The entire show was built around the idea of polygamy, and now he's finally admitting the truth. It's been over for years. This show was nothing but a money grab for him. He's cruel and manipulative, twisting the rules he creates to suit his own needs. He still holds Meri's emotional affair over her head, refusing to acknowledge how he contributed to it. She's been punished for her mistake time and time again. He strung her along, making her believe there was hope, then blamed her for wanting a relationship. His decisions only benefit him and Robyn. He just doesn't care about anyone else, hurting people and then playing the victim. I hope one day he grows up, realizes the pain he's caused, and seeks forgiveness from his ex-wives and all of his children. Plus, what was Sister Wives star Robyn Brown even doing in that shot when Kody went to the kitchen, hoping Christine would play nice and greet him? She looked like a stalker. Was she there to listen in and jump in to tell him what to say? Can he not have a conversation with his ex-wives without her hovering? Was she trying to stir something up? It was so creepy, but honestly hilarious. I bet Kody was furious he didn't get the reaction he wanted. Another knife in the kidneys, with all those wasted years. Christine not even acknowledging them must have driven them over the edge. I love how Christine said she realized they were the outsiders, not her, and that she didn't need to feel uncomfortable anymore. Moreover, Sister Wives star Janelle Brown and Maddie's new project, Tata Farm, is sure to drive Kody crazy, especially since Janelle clearly got Caleb in the divorce. I've been thinking about how, in the first episode, Kody didn't want to talk about Madison. He was so attached to Caleb, and I think losing Maddie means he also lost Caleb, which probably hurts him the most. Kody seems to only value male relationships, as they're the only people he considers even close to equals. Janelle had a vision and was originally going to pursue it at Coyote Pass. She never gave up on her dream, adapted when living at Coyote was no longer an option, and relocated to North Carolina. It's a testament to what you can accomplish when you set goals and remain flexible. However, life after the show for the 5 adults seems to be taking shape. The original 3 wives appear to be preparing for the end of the series. They all have their LM jobs, but Meri is making changes with her B&B and has the Worthy Up project. Janelle now has her farm, and Christine is managing her errand while seeking child support for Truly. It seems like everyone is making moves. Even Kody and Robin are selling their house. I really wonder if this might be the last season, especially with the rumors of there being 24 episodes. If that's the case, I think it's for the best. Every new season must feel like reopening old wounds for the kids. Even those who aren't involved with the show anymore will see clips on social media or hear about the hurtful things their dad says on TV. It has to be painful and probably affects some of them more deeply than others. As well as the emotional abuse caused by sister wives star Kody Brown's words on his kids is heartbreaking. It's one thing for a child to hear their father say hurtful things about their mother in the heat of a fight, but Kody said it on national TV, not in anger or during an argument, but calmly in an interview. To hear their father say he never loved or found their mother attractive would be devastating. And worse, it's all on a show that can be replayed over and over, causing even more harm to the women and their children. Kody and Robin are truly empty, soulless people and co-abusers of this family. Shame on them. Kody's kids likely know how abusive he really is. They've seen him treat their mothers cruelly all their lives. His words probably aren't surprising to them. Just another instance of him being mean and hurtful, like every other day. The children are just as much victims as the mothers. When Kody says things like, "I married the wrong person," or "I never loved you, I don't know why I married you," he's essentially wishing his children with those women didn't exist. Kody is one of those people who should have never gotten married or had children in the first place. Also, reality star Kody Brown didn't even know Janelle Brown helped with Isabel's move. How disconnected must he be to not know the logistics of his own daughter's cross-country move? Did he even know she was moving at all? How long must he have gone without talking to anyone involved to be so clueless? Did he even realize Maddie was pregnant at the time? The irony is that Isabel was moving back to be closer to family. To me, this proves that Kody always relied on the mothers to update him, instead of putting in the effort to actually communicate with his children. Absolutely. Kody once told Janelle something like, "Don't communicate with my children for me," but then he doesn't do it himself. He relied on the mothers to keep him informed, or expected the children to reach out to him. He never made the effort on his own. If they didn't come to him, there was no relationship. It was always one-sided with Kody. He always expected the wives to manage his relationships with the kids. Now that the original 3 wives aren't doing that for him anymore, he refuses to be an adult and take responsibility for his own relationships with them. Additionally, I'm really curious to hear what people think about Kody Brown and Robin Brown's future as a couple. Do you think Robin will eventually leave Kody? Or could it be the other way around? Sorry if this has been asked before. I'm new to Reddit and just starting to dive into the sister wives world. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Honestly, I don't really care. I'm much more interested in the original 3 wives and any of their kids who want to participate. I'd watch that for sure. As for Kody and Robin, I couldn't be less interested in their future. I don't wish them any harm, but I just don't care what they do next. Moreover, Sister Wives star Kody Brown's name appears on the birth certificate following Christine Brown's filing. Many people have noted that a previous season confirmed Kody is listed on all of his children's birth certificates. However, after Christine filed for child support and paternity establishment, doesn't this suggest he might not be on the birth certificate? In polygamous families, it's quite common for the father to be omitted from the birth certificate for various reasons. In Utah, paternity must be established before any child support proceedings, regardless of who is listed on the birth certificate. This is true in many states, including Utah. If a couple is not legally married, a paternity test is required before child support can be established, even if the father's name is on the birth certificate. However, when reality star Kody Brown claims that the family knows he suffers from FOMO, fear of missing out, and that any exclusion is a punishment, it suggests they should be keeping him informed and inviting him to all their life events. No, that's not punishment. If they're not including him, it means he's not even on their radar. This is a classic narcissistic moment. He's so self-centered that he genuinely believes everyone is plotting against him, when in reality, they hardly think about him at all. He envisioned everyone coming to him, either living on or visiting his compound as they grew up. This reflects how he structured the family, with himself at the center and the wives managing the dynamics for him. Now that he has to take charge himself, he's at a loss, and Robin likely wouldn't let him leave the house for long anyway. Where was this FOMO during the entire pandemic when he stayed at Robin's house? Kody doesn't really experience FOMO. He's a control freak who has lost authority over the OG3 and OG13. If he truly had FOMO, something more typical for preteens than grown men, he would have made an effort to join the family for Christmas, ensuring he was part of the event. Kody frequently misuses terms like transmorphing and transmuting. His father, Win, went to college, but Kody didn't. This may contribute to his insecurities about his education. I wouldn't be surprised if part of the tension with his OG13 kids stems from their better education, which might make him feel inferior, leading him to demand their blind obedience. Furthermore, I finally watched the new episode, and in the trailer for the rest of the season, he actually says, "Blame yourself if I don't love you." This guy is a joke. Of all the ridiculous things he said, this should be the moment that even number 4 thinks, "Wow, you've lost it. I'm out." But no, she clings on. If he said, "Blame yourself if I'm broke," that might actually be a deal breaker for her. That's such a narcissistic statement. If someone's actions are causing you to withdraw and you care about them, it's your responsibility to communicate what they're doing that hurts you. He's essentially putting the blame on her for his lack of love, when all she's ever wanted is to be loved by him. She was the last wife to leave, aside from Robin, because she held on to hope for their relationship. So forget him. I wish he had said that to her in Vegas before the catfish situation, so she could have freed herself sooner and not been part of buying the property. Plus, every time I see this girl, I'm struck by her quiet elegance and beauty. I noticed at the baby shower that Robin and Kody tried to be near her, but she gracefully stayed close to Christine. I was thinking back to the season when Kody forced her into that bizarre scoliosis camp with all those exhausting exercises, none of which had any scientific basis. She has come such a long way and blossomed into a beautiful young woman. Honestly, it's a wonder not all the kids are in serious therapy. She blamed herself when it didn't work, and Kody only fueled that belief. It was awful to see. I still vividly remember the interview where she was crying because the brace hurt constantly, and the exercises consumed all her time. Kody had even scolded her for not taking it seriously, leaving her with no time for anything but homework and those endless exercises. I just wanted to give her a big hug. In the early seasons, Kody was often holding Isabel or Savannah, even in moments that had nothing to do with them. The little girls were called the Pixies as a group, but Kody made it clear Isabel was the pixie. He showed her so much affection. That's what makes his complete neglect of her now so heartbreaking. If he had never been close to her, it might have hurt less. but seeing him try to be near her just so he and number 4 didn't seem like outsiders was so self-serving. However, liar, liar, pants on fire. Every time I see his mom, all I can think of is Robert Plant from Led Zeppelin today. Kody's mom has completely brainwashed herself. I don't believe for a second that going plague was truly her idea. All these grown toddler men in polygamy are the same. Wynn couldn't keep it in his pants, but back in the 60s and 70s, women didn't have many resources for divorce, especially with a bunch of kids. So she gets the calling and turns a blind eye, hoping he'll keep supporting her. And correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Daddy O pull some legal marriage shuffle with either his second glorified mistress or Janelle's mom too? Am I remembering that right? So looking back, how could Janelle have been blindsided when Kody strong-armed Meri into doing the paperwork shuffle? Or wait, sorry, it was Meri's spontaneous decision, right? Kody's just copying his dad to a T, another mediocre guy with too many responsibilities, riding off into the sunset with the latest wife, while the worn-out, discarded ones are left to pine on the sidelines and handle everything. Honestly, I can't even eat as much as I want to throw up. Moreover, when will Sister Wives star Kody Brown start blaming Robin Brown? He obviously can't take responsibility himself, and the other wives barely have contact with him. So who's left to punish? That leaves good old scapegoat Sovin. Honestly, I bet she lives in constant fear, always trying to meet Kody's ridiculous standards and follow his rules. What mistake, or even just a perceived slight, will finally make Kody turn on her? They deserve each other. Honestly, it's already happening. We just haven't seen it on camera yet. Never. He's obsessed with her and has her up on a pedestal. The real question is, when will Robin get tired of his new aggressive personality, especially now that the gravy train's dried up and she's no longer getting off on being the secret favorite? I also 100% believe Robin wears the pants in their relationship. Remember last season, or maybe the one before, when Meri came home from her first day at school? Kody asked if Meri was bothering another kid, and Robin immediately shushed him and told him they don't use that word. And even further back, he actually asked her if they could bring the kids to the gathering at Coyote Pass during the pandemic. I think Kody feels like Robin and her family validate him, making him believe he's not a terrible husband or father. In his mind, he can still make a marriage work and be a real parent. But once he crosses the line with her and shatters that illusion, he'll become more volatile than we've ever seen. Honestly, I think he's already started blaming her. Both of them have admitted that he does things to intentionally sabotage their relationship. He even talked about leaving her for someone else he doesn't love, just so they could both be miserable. It's such a strange way to think about marriage, especially when you're supposed to be with this person for the rest of your life, and here he is, openly admitting that he's considering leaving. Please share your thoughts in the comment section below. I'd love to hear whether you agree or disagree. If you enjoyed this video, consider liking, subscribing, and hitting the notification bell for future updates. Your feedback is important, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you.